Libra and Libra sun sign compatibility. All right, so I know this one well. I was married to a wonderful Libra man for about 14 years, so I'm very familiar with this combination. Now, he had a Pisces moon and I have an Aries moon, so that could have been where we had some issues. But Libra is our zodiac sign that's, of course, in the middle of the 12 zodiac signs. It's the 7th sign. Libra is the scales. So Libra is about harmony, compromise, balance. They can have sort of a people-pleasing quality to them. You put two Libras together. I mean, I have an Aries moon, so my moon's also opposite a Libra sun, but I've never met a Libra that I don't like. Libras typically have a pleasant demeanor to them. They have a quality to them where they understand social graces. Even if you have a Libra with a lot of, I don't know, maybe an afflicted Mars or, some really strong Aries or some really strong Scorpio in their chart, there still is this congeniality and this quality of let's harmonize. Why can't we just get along? They like harmony. They like things to be smooth. Okay. You put two Libras together, they are going to have a fun time socializing with one another. The conversations between two Libras are usually very bantery, full of humor. I don't know why, I think of Benjamin Franklin as being quite a Venusian character. I'm not even sure what his birth chart, I don't even know the sun sign or anything, but he has this quality to him, if you know Benjamin Franklin, where he's a diplomat. Okay, so diplomats, or people who are diplomatic, have this ability to sort of recognize differences between themselves and another person, but find the common ground, okay? And even laugh about the differences. And that's how two Libras kind of mesh with one another. They'll notice each other's differences. They won't poke at each other's differences so much as they'll sort of recognize them and just let them be, okay? And if anything, if they poked at them, it would be just sort of out of a sense of humor, and then they would just let it go. What will initially attract these two is they'll probably meet in a social setting. There'll probably be that Libras typically present themselves in a way that's quite pleasing, whether they're physically attractive just by how they dress and present themselves, or socially through their mannerisms and their way of sort of approaching you. They have a pleasantness to them. So a lot of times Libras will just, they'll see one another, they'll find each other attractive, and they'll strike up a conversation. This is probably the way that they'll initially run into each other. As far as with the long-term interaction between these two, the problem that they're going to run into is when issues get brushed under the rug. You see this a lot with the signs that are kind of the harmonizing signs, like some of the water signs, and of course with Libra, and the mutable signs. There can be this tendency to, not so much Sagittarius, but there can be this tendency to sort of, oh, it's no big deal, we just won't talk about that, we'll just let that go, to keep the peace, and instead it will sort of build under the surface and bubble up. It can bubble up later. So the other thing with Libra and Libra, they've really got to have their moons talking to each other in a way that's dynamic, and their sexual planets, because otherwise it's almost too placid. It's too kind of just getting along. It's sort of like if you've got, I mean, I don't want to give a blanket statement here, but I'll speak for myself. If I have someone who a lot of their planets fall into my 7th house, I might like them and feel a harmony with them and a friendship with them, but I'm not attracted to them. It's not necessarily sexual, romantic attraction. It's just, I kind of like you. And that's what you can have happen with two Libras if they don't have other interesting, fiery, dynamic things happening that are sparking them in other ways. Now, also, it should be noted, Libra is the opposite sign from Aries, and Libras love a good row. They really enjoy debate. Not when it's personal, not so much picking on someone personally, but they are an intellectual sign. They're an air sign, so they appreciate talking about things and debating things from all sides. Libras do have the ability to sort of see many sides of one subject, and I think it's because of the fact that, like I said, they're that harmonizer. They're in the middle. They kind of can see the whole playing field, and they like to argue all of the different points. That's really fun to them. And there's not really anything meant by it. Now with Libra, you can sometimes, like I said, with the conflict side of things with these two Libras, sometimes they don't say what they're really thinking, and it can come out later in a sort of a very passive-aggressive or loud kind of a way. And the passive-aggressive thing, I'll give you an example. So with my former husband, he likes things very clean. He's got like a Virgo Venus, as do I, but he's likes things really organized. And sometimes if he came home, and we've got 4 kids, or if the house was messy or something, he came home and he wanted to be vacuumed, instead of just saying, I would like it to be vacuumed, or vacuuming it himself without, he would get kind of passive aggressive and huffy about it, and then he'd be vacuuming really fast or something, and I wouldn't really know what was going on. So it was like trying to keep the peace. He's also got a Pisces moon, so that's a whole other topic, but trying to keep the peace, but yet letting me know that he was dissatisfied with something. That can be a Libra to Libra thing. Sometimes you just have to face one another and say, I really like it when I come home and the floor is vacuumed. It makes me feel stressed when I come home and it's not vacuumed. Having that conversation face to face instead of having it come out in sort of passive aggressive ways is helpful. How others will see this partnership, this partnership on the outside, on the surface, can kind of have like a perfect couple vibe, because socially they're good at playing the social game. So just be careful that you're not playing to that persona that the relationship's perfect, and instead you really are working on making a relationship be what both of you want it to be, something that's working for both of you. Okay, so it's a little bit of that. The inner world of the relationship you don't have this outer persona that the relationship's trying to fit, while the inner world is kind of at conflict. Be at harmony in both places. Keep it real. So that is my take on Libra to Libra. It's quite a romantic partnership. This is one where, the one thing I will say, we definitely enjoyed going to movies and good restaurants together and traveling and buying things. We love to decorate our house together, and all the things that have to do with sort of the arts, music, all these things. We really enjoyed going to concerts, those things together. So, Libra and Libra, anything that has to do with the arts or the beauty or making life more pleasant or pleasurable, they will definitely have that in common with one another and make the world a more beautiful place just through their interaction. So let me know what you think about your Libra relationship. And thank you so much for watching. If you would like a reading, a personal birth chart reading, or a relationship reading, come over to my website at moderncosmic.com. And if you like this, be sure to subscribe, because I put up videos all the time to help you with your love life. Okay, thanks for watching. All right, bye-bye.